And it's just because glyphosate is so pervasive, it's used carelessly. People can just go buy it and use it to kill the dandelions on their yard while the kids are playing. They won't even know they're doing something bad because they're so assured that this is a wonderful herbicide, perfectly safe. They don't use any kind of protective equipment, so people are getting poisoned by the Roundup they're buying to kill their dandelions. But I think more importantly, everybody's getting poisoned by the Roundup in their food. And people are finding high levels of glyphosate in really popular foods with children, like oatmeal and Oreo cookies and goldfish crackers. All these popular snacks that the kids are eating are loaded up on glyphosate. And when people get gluten intolerance, which they get because of glyphosate, we have an epidemic in that, they stop eating gluten and then they switch over to eating things like legumes, so they eat a lot of chickpeas and garbanzo beans and lentils. Those are all absolutely loaded with glyphosate, not because they're GMO, they're not GMO, but they're sprayed right before harvest in the highest levels of glyphosate. Canada tested a whole bunch of foods for glyphosate, and the highest levels consistently were found in these legumes. So people start eating more of those when they can't eat wheat, then they just go into a downward spiral because they're still being poisoned, probably even more. The wheat is sprayed right before harvest as well. That's why we have an epidemic in gluten intolerance, I believe, because the glyphosate is messing up the body's ability to digest the wheat. And that directly hits on the microbiome because it's a lactobacillus species, which is so crucial for the infant's gut. Lactobacillus, it is very much more sensitive to glyphosate than the other species in the gut. It really stands out. So it's getting killed by the glyphosate. And lactobacillus has a number of different enzymes that are specialized in breaking apart proline. And wheat has a lot of proline in it. And proline is difficult. It's difficult from the other amino acids. And the lactobacillus provides the tools to do that to the host. But it gets killed, so the wheat doesn't get digested, and then you get the leaky gut, and then the undigested protein gets circulating in the circulatory system, and the immune cells then react to it and produce antibodies. And then those antibodies attack the body because there are other proteins that we produce that resemble the wheat proteins, and that's how you get this autoimmune result.